Hello there. You can sacrifice time and effort now, or you can sacrifice loved ones later. Howdy, welcome to Militant Geek Preparedness. This may look a little familiar to some of you. I've got a lot more hair. I've got more clutter on my desk. They don't really go one with the other, but it just worked out that way. But I want to talk seriously about something. And I have been hard on the Watchman news channel, which is where you may have seen me before. I've been really hard on especially the content creators on YouTube that are in the preparedness realm. Because most of them really aren't teaching preparedness. They're teaching you how to add to a cart and how to treat preparedness as if it's some grand poobah club of some kind, which it's not. If it's local to you, if the people in your preparedness group are local, as in they are in your tribe, in your community, well then that doesn't apply to you. But for the most part, people that are watching content on YouTube and the people creating the content on YouTube are not part of an actual club. They treat it that way, they act like it's that way, but they're really missing the whole point of preparedness. So, again, I saw a video earlier. I've got audio clips from it that I'm using fair use. This is for commentary. And so I'm just going to let you hear what I initially heard. And I'm going to show you the comments that were made. And then I'll let you hear the reply that was made to my comments on that video. And, of course, I've got a reply to that. So this is not aimed towards YouTube viewers as much as it is towards YouTube quote-unquote content creators. However, there's a lot that can be learned by the average YouTube viewer from this video. What I said, I mean. You can sacrifice time and effort now, or you can sacrifice loved ones later. My dad probably taught me the most valuable bit of information that anybody could ever tell me, and that was you either learn to do for yourself or you learn to do without. And Dad hammered that into our heads, whether it was learning how to fix a washer or a dryer or learning how to fix the car, the lawnmower. Learn how to do it yourself or do without. My dad wasn't made of money. My family wasn't rich, and so we had to do what we had to do to get by. That included doing pretty much every bit of our own maintenance on things, including cars. My dad could adjust the steering on a car, the alignment, on a car by watching it go through gravel. He could literally have somebody drive through gravel slowly, just straight, as he watched how the tires pushed the gravel. And he could literally set your alignment and get it spot on. He was good at that. I never did pick up on that one, but my dad was good at that. I can time, within reason, I can time a vehicle by ear. Now, I wouldn't time a vehicle by ear and tell you to go out and take it on the racetrack. That would be stupid. But I can get it in enough time to where it's not going to cause you any problems or anything like that, driving it normally. I can do it by ear. Same thing with carburetor, you name it, I can adjust it by ear. Those were skills that I had learned at a rather young age, to be honest. So when I hear people talk about how they paid somebody else to do something, that's one thing. That's already in my head. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Is there any possible way this is something that you could have done yourself? But then when I hear that it's on a topic as critical as water, then I really got to look a little bit harder at this. So I'm going to let you hear what Prepper Now had to say, and then I'll show you the comments. We'll go from there. So this is what he had to say in his video.
We have had in the last 6 months in our family multiple $1,000 hits, vet bills, car problems. Yesterday we had to put in a brand new pump for our well because it just died. That was $3,000.
Well, there is no excuse for not getting out there and learning how to work on your own vehicle. I know. Believe me, we're going to cover the excuses. Time and money. They're cop-outs. They're not excuses. They're called cop-outs. Let's call them for what they are. So, $3,000 to have a new well pump put in. That's a chunk of change. That is a serious chunk of change. Now, the excuse is there's no time. And that's going to be in the second part of the video. There's no time. Let me bring up real quick. I'll show you the comments that was made. I started off by saying prepping isn't paying someone $3,000 to replace your well pump. It's getting out there and learning the skills to do it for yourself and buying a spare pump or two for the future. For the life of me, I cannot see how you preppers don't know the difference. So here's the thing. And yes, that was harsh. That was brash. But I'm not speaking to somebody that just got into prepping. I'm speaking to somebody who has supposedly been into prepping for a while. I was like there when he started his channel, so not been a super long while, but it's been a while. And continually, we keep hearing this excuse that we've got to pay somebody else to do it. For whatever reason, we just can't do it ourselves. I need to get rid of that banner at the bottom because it's not going to be good in a few more days anyway. I'll get rid of it for the next video. So anyway, my website, I will be losing it at the end of this month. I don't have the money to keep up the website payment and whatever, whatever. What I'm not going to do is bow down to society's wants on how to make content or how to do this or do that so I can pay a web host bill. Nah, I'm going to be true to you now and always. That's the way it'll always be between us. I think that's important. So let's get back to this. Somebody had replied, ideally doing it yourself would be better, but it's not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. No prepping is. No prepping is. But we're going to talk about this. Time and funds are limited for most of us, thus prepping can be having that emergency fund so then when poop happens, you don't have to derail the rest of the plan. Well, that's a fair reply. The money part, no, because you can usually do it much cheaper yourself. So the money part doesn't work. Time? Really? You don't have a few hours you can spend learning about how wells work, how the pump systems work for a well? It's not that complicated, I promise you. I promise you. It's not. You got to try. You got make that effort. You know what I mean? You just make that effort, and you can learn pretty easily. You really can. I replied to the gentleman, doing it yourself is monumentally cheaper, and considering how important water is, it should be a priority to learn how to be able to keep supplying it. Sorry, this is about one of the most needed preps. There is no excuse. In one day, spending a little bit of time learning the system, you could be prepared to take care of it yourself. There is no room for laziness and excuses and preparedness. People won't understand how entitled they really are until they have to do for themselves. So, here's the thing, right? Let's come back up. Anybody can pick up a phone, just not my phone because it's all freaked out. Yeah, see, I got a dying phone, no way to replace it. Guess what? I don't know how to fix this. I think it's a hardware issue in the phone. I think the main board's going bad. The display part of the main board's going bad. I don't have the tools, and I don't have that kind of a knowledge to fix surface mount boards like this. I surely don't have the equipment to do it. So, you know what? Since I can't do it myself, I guess I'll be doing without now, won't I? But this phone. Today, if I've got an issue and I've got money in my pocket, I can pick this phone up, providing that it worked normally, and I could call someone to come fix it for me. After the big SHTF, who are you going to call? Now, the excuse is often two-part. I don't have the time, or no one can know everything. Well, I don't have the time as a cop-out. Plain and simple. Clean water is not important for your family? That's a cop-out. That's a lie. I don't like liars. Maybe liars need to be dealt with harshly. Maybe? I think so. Look, water's important. And if you can't bother yourself with making a few hours of time in order to watch some YouTube videos or look on some forums on how well water pump systems work, then maybe you deserve to be standing there with your hands up in the air and your jaw dropped low at your family as they're looking at you wondering how the hell they're going to get clean water because Dad couldn't find the time to learn how the system worked. So you can give me those excuses till the day is long. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. They're excuses. They're cop-outs. And they don't fly with me. Not even a little bit. So that's commonly the excuse. So I don't have time. The other thing is, well, not everybody can know everything. Well, you're right. Not everybody can know everything. I'm always very upfront about the subjects that I know little about. Why? Because I can't know everything. But you know what? Who's the guy they're going to come to when they need a small engine fixed? Who's the guy they're going to come to when they need small electronics fixed? Who's the guy they're going to come to when their pump quits pumping? Wow, I keep raising my hand. It's the damnedest thing. And it's not a flex. It's not a brag. There's none of that in survival. There's none of that in survival. I know these skills because I have spent my life learning these skills. Why? Because my dad taught me not to be a useless eater. And I damn well will not be a useless eater. Now you can sit there and tell me about knowledge about this, that, and the other thing till the cows come home. It doesn't make a damn bit of difference if you can't use that knowledge to help people get past rough times when it comes to the whole preparedness topic. It's a cop-out. It is an absolute cop-out. Let's go back real quick to the comments so we can finish those up. That gentleman replied that he agreed with my premise. And Prepper Now speaks up and says, some of us don't have time. Lie. On the same tip, working hard and saving money so you can handle this is prepping too. No, it's not. You're not wrong, but you're not totally correct. Oh, yes, I am. Prepping is whatever you make it. No, it's not. Let's all stand back and just bask in the awesomeness of you. Thanks for showing us that you're judgmental. Really? Dude, you know me as the Watchman News, and you and many of your cohorts have been nothing but judgmental to me from the get-go. So kindly, go F yourself. Or not so kindly, I really don't care. So I responded, I'm being judgmental, and this is more truth than any of these damn prepper channels are going to give you. I'm being judgmental? Nah, bruh. Life will judge the hell out of you. No one else has to be involved. You make time for it. When the big SHTF happens, who are you going to pay with your reserves? The Bible says people will be casting money into the streets. Do you know why? What you are doing is securing false hope. You are banking literally and figuratively on someone being there you can pay to do it for you. That is not preparedness beyond life's normal hiccups. I thought actual preparedness was for the things that go beyond that. Make time for what is truly important. Vacations and kids' sports aren't going to benefit you one bit. Use some of that time to do something useful. That's what was said. Of course, there was no reply or anything like that. Didn't expect one. Because people don't want to actually address this. They don't want to talk about it. Why? Oh, well, because we just like those rose-colored glasses. Who you going to call when the big SHTF happens? Let me ask this. This is directly to Prepper Now. Can you name the person? Name the person that you can communicate with without phone service, without internet, anything like that, from where you are at home. Name the person that you're going to get to come out and fix your well. You can't do it? So when the balloon goes up, do you think you're going to be able to name that person any easier? It's a cop-out. It's a lie. And the one that you're cheating yourself, or the one you're cheating the most, isn't even yourself. It's those loved ones that are relying on you. It's not a game. Preparedness is not a game. It's not some cutesy little club on YouTube, like many want to treat it. It's about self-reliance. It's about being self-aware. It's about having self-discipline. And it's about making the time for the things that are most important. Watching TV shows and making sure your kid is in that third sport isn't really all that important when you look at the big picture. Sure, it's nice to do those things, but I guarantee you anybody can find some kind of time they can set out of their life in order to take care of the most important priorities that they have. And I'm sorry, but clean drinking water tops that list. Don't call yourself a prepper if you're too lazy and uninterested in learning what it takes to be able to take care of your family. Don't go there with me. Let's continue on to the second, his reply in another video. Let me get that folder back up here. He made a second video in which he replied, right? So this is the audio from that. I will stop it and have a few comments to make.
I want to reference just a comment that was made in my earlier video today. And, the person basically said, well, you should do the well yourself.
Yep, you should do the well yourself.
Okay. Yeah, it would be optimum to do that.
Optimum? What about it being the only choice? What about after the balloon goes up and you got nobody to call? Optimum? Optimum? Yeah, bruh, we ain't even on the same page. Not even close.
However, everybody does things a different way. Everybody can do something.
You're not doing something a different way by not doing it all. Remember that.
Nobody can do everything. Nobody can fix all the computers. Nobody can grow all the food. Nobody can do all the well work. Nobody can build a house. There's just...
No, but you can be the guy to knock as many of those things out. Look, man, the most valuable prep you can have is knowledge and skill sets. Becoming an asset to your community. It's imperative. It's completely imperative. Okay? And then let's talk about that. Oh, my well went out, so I'm going to put a message throughout the community. I'm going to tell my neighbors, remember, no phone, no internet, that, hey, my well's broke. I need help with my well. Well, now you just gave up some of your security. How's that? Well, people know you don't have water. So let's say people kind of suspect you might have food, but you've got a lack of water issue. Well, I bet they can find you some clean water for some of that food. You see where this goes quick? You see how copping out and not taking care of your responsibility can lead your family to more danger? It's a fact. It's a fact. Quit copping out. Quit selling out yourself. Quit selling out your loved ones. That is so ridiculous. You don't know how sad it sounds to me for somebody to say, oh, well, I don't need to learn this because I can call somebody else to do it. I can't know everything. It's a cop-out. It's a cop-out. It's not knowing everything. It's knowing how to procure water from your land. Like What? Water is like number 2 on the list? Or is it 3? Something like that. It's up there. It's important. It's crazy. Let's continue on, shall we?
Certain things, and when we get into subjects on prepping, and it kind of takes on an accusatory or, it's supposed to be done this way kind of mentality.
Okay, there are many ways to prep, but there are some very basic common needs for all of us. Clean water is one of those. I mean, we all got to get it. What's your plan, man? Your well goes out, you can't use your well, what's your backup? What's your plan? Right? And realize that you're putting yourself and or your family at risk every single time you leave to go somewhere else to procure that water. When, if you spent a little bit of time and stopped making excuses for not wanting to learn something that doesn't particularly interest you, I don't know, man. If your family's not worth that, tell them I'm sorry. I mean, it's not their fault. Not their fault. Crazy. Let's continue.
I think it turns people off.
No, what I think turns people off is people copying out such important things. And just, don't have the time. Don't have the time. Can't know everything. Tell that to your loved ones that are standing there wondering what you're going to do in order to help them.
Goal is to get everybody into some form of prepping or preparedness mindset, whatever that may look like.
I know that's the goal. But dude, early on, you picked up a box of radios off your shelf. Probably never have turned them on or charged them. And you're going on about the range that the boxes set on them that those radios had. They were like the Walmart FRS radios that you get. And I think, I don't know, I could be wrong, but I think the number was something like 18 miles or something like that, the box said. And you totally bought it, hook, line, and sinker. That is not teaching preparedness. That's more like about to be learned preparedness. And the two aren't the same. One of them is highly disappointing, and the other one, well, that's optimum.
And when you say, you're not doing it right and you should do it this way, it kind of can come off as overwhelming or at least just hindering.
Hindering. You mean hindering your ideal that you're trying to put off about how you're some big prepper? Dude, you're not. You've been toting around the same crap for years. Just stop. If you're not a prepper, stop. If you are a prepper, take it seriously. There are a lot of people out there that will tell you that preparedness is a lifestyle. That is a fact. With a capital F. That is a fact. It is a lifestyle. That means you make time to learn how to do the things that you're going to need to do in order to secure the health and well-being of your loved ones. Even if that means watching a few YouTube videos on how the hell to replace a wellhead or pump.
Of, getting people into a mindset of preparedness. Everybody's going to do things differently. Not everybody's going to do it the same way. I would love to be...
No, but everybody needs to do it. Do it. Not make excuses for not doing it.
Be able to go and do my own well, but from time constraints to all kinds of other things, I honestly just don't have the money.
Okay, that's a bold-faced lie, because it would be monumentally cheaper. He could have replaced his own well pump for less than $100. Instead, he paid $3,000. Dad always said a fool and his money will soon be parted. He was right.
And I honestly just don't have the time. I've got the money to pay for it because...
Yeah, don't have the time. Don't have the time. Right. I don't know what it's like not to be a man. I don't know what it's like not to be a man. I don't know what it's like not to be able to put my foot down and say, hey, look, I've got to do this. I don't do it often because I don't need to do it often, but it indeed happens. It indeed happens. I have things that I'm doing, I have projects that I do that some things can't be interrupted. And yeah, I've had to put my foot down. Hey, I've got to shoot this video. I've got to get this done, or I've got to get that done. It's called being a man. It's called taking care of responsibility. That goes way further than earning a paycheck and paying somebody else to do it.
I work hard, but that's why I work hard, you know? And kind of on the same thing, by saying that, anybody that accepts help down in North Carolina, I mean, were they doing it wrong?
Nobody said anything about accepting help as being wrong. You just made that up. I didn't make that claim. Not anywhere.
They needed help too. Everybody needs help. And we all do things differently. So just keep that in mind.
But we do things. See, you're not doing things. It's not that you're doing them differently. You're not doing them.
And whatever your path is, it's your path. I hope you get to preparedness, you know? And that person, I'm not trying to be mean to you or anything like that. I'm just saying, I think the tact was a little, you know, just rough.
Rough. Ooh, rough. Because your family that is dying because they can't stop. There's no nice way to say it. Your family that's dying of dysentery, looking at you, wondering how you're going to help them. Yeah, that's not rough. Me talking about the reality of preparedness. Oh, well, that's just too rough. Man, if that's what you call rough, oof. We'll finish.
And I think that we all need to do whatever we can to just inspire people to make as many good choices as possible because...
Hey, inspiration's great. Enabling, however, is not. So enabling people that it's okay to make excuses about such very important things to learn about, that's not the same. I'm all about empowering people. And sometimes in order to empower somebody, you have to give them a swift kick in the ass and you have to give them a wake-up call. I don't know, bruh. Is this your wake-up call? I don't know.
The opportunity, the options, they're going to get less and less and less.
That's kind of my point, dude. That is my entire point. While you have YouTube that you can go look up on how to replace that well pump, use it. Stop making excuses and use it. Learn something useful. Don't be a useless eater. I know you teach history and stuff, man, and that's great. I've got no qualms with that. It's very important job that you do, as a matter of fact. But how much good is history going to do people? I mean, don't get me wrong. It's got its place. It's very important. It's well needed. But when people are trying to survive, how are you going to help them survive through history lessons? Same thing I would ask Pinball Preparedness, Kenny Patrica. How are you helping people with giving them financial advice? And the gardening thing, I think it's great to encourage people to garden. I think that's a wonderful thing. Not a thing wrong with it at all. But let's be realistic. You're not going to feed yourself and your loved ones all year long on what you get out of your little garden. Unless you happen to have field-sized gardens. And that's a totally different conversation. I'm not saying not to garden. I'm saying be realistic about gardening and understand how much of it can play an actual role in sustaining your family. These are all important questions. And it blows my mind that you can't get these so-called prepper channels to talk about this kind of stuff because they can't give you an add-to-cart solution or some kind of easy kind of nonsense that they can somehow benefit from. I'm not here to make anything from you. Nothing. I'm not here to gain popularity. I'm not here to earn money on YouTube or Subscribe Star or Locals or any other con job type of nonsense that these people want to get you to pay for. I'm just here to tell you the truth. I'm just here to actually help you on that preparedness journey. And if that includes doing a video about how to replace well pumps, well, damn it, I'll do it. I got to find one that needs replaced. I got a friend lives out of town. She's got problems with her well. But, I'm not above doing it. Do I know every well system? No. No, not even, bro. Not even. Have I worked on a couple of wells? Absolutely. I've gotten a few working, There's one that I never did figure out. Never did get working. Not quite sure what was wrong with that one. Still not sure what was wrong with that one. I can learn too. And I would be happy to. But the difference in between me and the common YouTube prepping content creator is I actually give a damn. I'm not doing this as a hobby. It's not even close. I don't have the biggest, the best preps. One thing you learn about in preparedness is the more you know, the less you have to carry. And that's immensely true when it comes to having a backpack on foot. It's immensely true. The more skills you gain, the less gear you carry. That's a fact. The same is true in preparedness. I don't have to have 50,000 watts of solar panels. I don't have to have the biggest solar generator that money can buy. What I need is what's sufficient. What I need even more importantly than what's sufficient is the understanding of how that equipment works, how to maintain, how to repair that equipment. That is what is important. Is that knowing everything? Nope, not even coming close. Not even coming close. But at least it's trying. It's trying to know as many different things as I can to try to help in as many ways as I can. What it's not is a quick cop-out by saying, I don't have time. Or, not everybody can know everything. Nope, and not everybody can know nothing. Don't be a useless eater. Shalom.